Maureen Work showed you a little bit about this building earlier in the show. It was built in 1939. It used to be an old post office. Now it is the Carolina Beer Temple. And I want to talk to you about craft beer. I want to bring in the general manager of Carolina Beer Temple. I mean, Mrs. Matt Ferry. Matt, with a name like Carolina Beer Temple, you feel like you're going to take me to church.
That is kind of the plan. You know, we started off doing specifically North Carolina beer and Belgian beer, and a lot of Belgian beer is made in by Trappist monasteries.
But the
so
craft,
that's where the temple comes from in that sense.
And the craft beer scene, I mean, we've heard about it. It's huge in Charlotte.
Oh, yeah.
You guys have been able to make that a part of Matthews. So kind of the craft beer scene, what have you seen?
Well, as far as, especially with everything that's happened in the last few years, you know, a lot of people not wanting to travel as much. We tried to bring in as much as we can to bring the experiences of Charlotte out into Matthews. That way you can get everything that you want to experience in Charlotte and Matthews. From the beer selection, from the breweries that anybody might get in Charlotte, we brought it out here.
Now, your craft beer bar is very special. Our viewers are seeing some video inside right now. The history of it. I mentioned it used to be a post office built in 1939. Now it's a bar, but you have original floors, original windows. What else can you tell us about the building, and why was it so important to keep that?
It's been a staple in Matthews for a long time. It's been in a lot of different, or in one of the same families for a very long time. A number of small businesses here, locally owned. We had a bike shop right before us, and it was really important, especially, I mean, as you can see with the entire downtown area. Mm-hmm. It's something, especially with Charlotte, where a lot of historic buildings have kind of been torn down and things like that. We wanted to make sure that we didn't do that. We wanted to keep it's a hub for the community. The post office was always a hub for the community before, and that's what we've become now.
And I have to say this, your bar is so different. I mean, when I walked in there, you just felt that sense of hometown, and that was so important for you guys to have that feeling. I know you told me, but with that hometown feel, I mean, you know most of your customers by name. You give back here in the community. So you guys, being the Carolina Beer Temple, really practice what you preach. Tell me about the charity efforts.
We've been doing a lot more, especially in the last year or so as things have been opening up. We've been able to do a lot more. Last month we did a charity cookout for a local nonprofit school and daycare. This coming month in July we have the Beard and Mustache Club of Charlotte's coming out. We're going to do a charity car wash for Animal Adoption League. And then we've got a really big cookout coming up in August where we're pairing with some of the local sports organizations. We've got Mint City Collective, Roaring Riot, and Crown Club of Charlotte, who we actually have just done a new partnership with. We're going to do a charity cookout for Dream for Three, which is a local sports-based Make-A-Wish foundation.
And why is it so important to give? I mean, why do you feel that you're like, hey, we don't want that stuffy, corporate feel? Why is it so important to be able to have that hometown?
This is my community. I live here. I live 2 miles from here. These are my people. And a bunch of our staff is the same way. We all live around here. We want. In what scenario would you, as a bartender, be able to affect change on your community?
Yeah.
And our owner, Rob Jasek, he lets us do that. Yeah. He's like, whatever you want to do it. We want to be a part of the community. We want to make ourselves a staple in the community, and that's how you get that kind of support.
Well, I got to tease you a little bit. I noticed on your card it said Minister of Beer.
It's true. Hey, we all have to keep up on it and partake.